If everyone had electric vehicles, it would indeed have a significant impact on the electricity grid. The increased demand for electricity would require careful planning and management to ensure the grid's stability and reliability. Let's explore the effects and possible solutions in detail. Increased electricity demand. Electric vehicles consume electricity for charging their batteries. The widespread adoption of electric vehicles would result in a substantial increase in electricity demand, especially during peak charging times. This increased demand can strain the existing grid infrastructure. Load balancing challenges. The demand for electricity fluctuates throughout the day, with peak periods typically occurring in the mornings and evenings. If a large number of electric vehicles are simultaneously plugged in and charging during these peak periods, it could lead to overloading and grid instability. Load balancing becomes crucial to prevent blackouts or voltage fluctuations. To address these challenges, several strategies can be implemented. Smart charging infrastructure. Implementing smart charging systems would enable coordinated and controlled charging of electric vehicles. These systems can distribute the charging load intelligently, considering factors such as grid capacity, electricity demand, and time of use pricing. By staggering the charging times and optimizing the charging process, the strain on the grid can be reduced. Time of use pricing. Implementing variable electricity pricing based on the time of day can incentivize electric vehicles owners to charge their vehicles during off-peak hours when the electricity demand is lower. By offering lower electricity rates during these periods, it encourages users to shift their charging to non-peak hours, balancing the load on the grid. Vehicle-to-grid (V2G) technology. V2G technology allows bidirectional energy flow between the electric vehicles and the grid. During times of high demand or grid instability, electric vehicles can supply electricity back to the grid. This technology effectively turns electric vehicles into mobile energy storage units, helping to stabilize the grid and reducing the strain during peak periods. Grid infrastructure upgrades. To accommodate the increased demand for electricity, upgrading the grid infrastructure becomes necessary. This may involve improving transmission and distribution systems, increasing the capacity of substations and transformers, and deploying energy storage solutions to manage peak loads. These upgrades should be based on accurate forecasting of electric vehicles' adoption rates and electricity demand. Now let's consider a simplified example to illustrate the impact and potential solutions. Suppose a town with 10,000 households plans to transition to electric vehicles, and each electric vehicle requires an average of 10 kilowatt-hours of electricity per day for charging. Assuming a charging efficiency of 90%, the daily electricity demand from electric vehicles would be 10,000 households 10 kilowatt-hours, 0.9 equals 111,111 kilowatt-hours. This additional electricity demand would need to be accommodated by the grid. By implementing smart charging and time of use pricing, it could encourage electric vehicles owners to charge their vehicles during off-peak hours, reducing the strain on the grid during peak periods. Furthermore, the town could invest in grid infrastructure upgrades to handle the increased load. This might involve adding energy storage systems, upgrading transformers, and improving the transmission and distribution infrastructure. In conclusion, the widespread adoption of electric vehicles would increase electricity demand and pose challenges to the electricity grid. However, through the implementation of smart charging systems, time of use pricing, V2G technology, and grid infrastructure upgrades, the potential strain on the grid can be managed effectively, ensuring a reliable and stable electricity supply.